Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bola Sri Surya Narayan Bhagwan Ki Jai. Namaste again and good morning. Welcome to this beautiful mandir of ours, Sunday morning. We're thinking that we should be going to mandir and temples. That's traditional. But many of our temples are closed. But it is all right, we can manage because we have this beautiful temple of ours, natural temple, the temple that of all the five main deities here: earth, water, fire, air and space. Fire in the form of the sun, because from the sun is a ball of fire. That ball is so big, it's 108 times the size of Earth, and it's sending its rays down to us to keep us alive. And how beautiful it is that we can see that light and get the heat to keep us alive. And Mother Earth, as she's been blooming, you see the trees are coming up, so beautiful, isn't it? And the water is so refreshing. That water, when we need, we're out of water for some time, we get thirsty and we have to find water. That's how it is. And then air, the air is so refreshing. And then space, all the way up there. So we have all the murtis there, and they're in us, and let us pay adoration to these murtis. This murti of ours, the murti that has the manifestation of consciousness and consciousness. I always like to start out with that because it gives us a sense of no limitations. Yesterday I was talking that Swami Parameshananda would have said, expansion is life and contraction is death. That we have the capabilities, imagine that, inside of us, if we go deeper and deeper through our meditation, after we have some idea of who we are, manifestation of consciousness, when we go deeper and deeper, we'll find out that we are that consciousness. And this morning we want to bring that consciousness to its full fruition. I want to talk about a pilgrimage that I did. I did it before, but I want to say it again. That coming out of Chennai after doing collection and visiting, going to Rameshwaram and doing a pilgrimage there, Swami Parameshananda ji would have said, Maharaj, you go. It is time for you to expand your training. That you're contracting a little. Go from here to Delhi. And from Delhi you will go to, take a bus and you go into the Himalayas and visit our ashrams. It was the first time I was going to be on the train. And from Chennai. And the train was delayed, so I was getting a little, anxious to reach Delhi ashram. Anyway, I reached late in the night. Early morning I was on the bus, again going to Hardwar and spending the day and some time in Hardwar and the night. And in the early morning I joined the bus and going into the Himalayas all by myself. Oh, what a beautiful thing. And let us start over this prayer, because I think this prayer is going to put us inside that state of going to that Himalayas. Om Bhadrang Karnibhi Srinyama Deva Bhadrang Pashyemakshabhirya Jatraha Stirairangaistastavam Sastanovi Vyaseva deva hitam yadayo. Swasti no indro vrihastava. Swasti na pusha vishvadeva. Swasti na staksho arishtanemi. Swasti no vrahaspati dadatu. And what the prayer is saying, O Lord, give us that third ear, the ear that hear divine things. And give us that divine eye like Lord Shiva has. Oh Lord Shiva, grant us that divine eye, we could see you in all of creation. Oh, and it says, let all my faculties be for the welfare of the world, to serve. And how beautiful it is, and adorations to all the deities. Well, you know, I reached and I was going in the bus, and I was supposed to get off at one spot, Devan-Prayag, and catch another bus. But for some reason the bus didn't stop, and I didn't know that. So I kept going and going, and it's late, like 8 in the night, and still going. And I asked the driver, you know, the driver says, don't worry, you can go, and we'll stop at the Shankaracharya ashram. And there I was, we stopped, and I was about to register when I hear this song. Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho. And I know that sound, it's a BHARAT SEVASHRAM Shem before we start the arti. And I was wondering where it's coming from, and then the Swamiji said, oh, you're from BHARAT SEVASHRAM, this is your ashram, why are you coming here? Go over there. And he gave me a helper, and I went up, crawl up the mountains, and with my suitcase, and then I went, and Swamiji asked me to do the arti. Did the arti and stayed the night. It was just a shed with some zinc on top and around it, a tarpaulin, because we were just about to start an ashram, and the bathroom was outside. Anyway, I stayed, very cold that night. Next morning, the Swamiji accompanied me to Badrinath. But before we reached Badrinath, there was the mudslide on the road, and there was one point we have to come off the bus and walk across like a quarter mile with our shoes and suitcase on the head, deep mud, and then on the other side we washed our foot and get another bus and go to Badrinath, to our ashram, BHARAT SEVASHRAM. Oh, what a beautiful ashram we have there. And as the Badrinath Mandir, Vishnu temple is there. Oh, it's a place of pilgrimage, and a lot of sadhus will be in the caves not too far away from those places. And also it's the place that the Mahabharata was, the story was recorded by Veda Vyas. And Ganeshji was, Ganeshji was writing, and Veda Vyas was dictating. And this is how the Mahabharata was recorded. Anyway, I spent some time there, Keshav Prayag. Oh, this is a beautiful pilgrimage. Aren't you enjoying it? And you visualizing it? And there's an army outpost there, Indian army. So I will spend time with them, with the soldiers, and talking. But I come back the next day after staying the night, and I was coming back with a bus, and this song was being played. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya, Vishveshwaraya Shiva, Vishveshwaraya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Hara Hara Bole, Namah Shivaya. Oh, how appropriate as the bus move up and down the mountain, and you'll think you're going a far way, but it was just moving up and down the mountain. That's how the road was cut at the side of the mountains. And this was following the Alakanda River down. Then we came to that point where I got off the bus at our ashram in Gauri Kund. I spent the night there and took a bath in the sulfur spring. Very warm and in the cold night. This is such a welcoming thing. And then the next morning, arrangement was made for me to go and see our ashram in Kedarnath. So there were 2 ponies, one for myself and one, the guide was there taking me up. But I felt I wanted to walk. So I walked halfway, and then the other half, it was pouring rain, and I took the pony up and went. And then I went to ashram, and then Swami Parameshananda, he's now in America, SEVASHRAM. He was there for 15 years. Imagine that, in that cold Himalayas, but place of pilgrimage, a holy place. And Vishwanathananda Swamiji took me to the Kedarnath Lingam, and we did prayers. And then later on in the afternoon, we went and visited some caves. And when we were there, one gentleman was coming down. He's so adept that he went to pick flowers for the evening worship for the Kedarnath Lingam. A whole big bag of flowers coming from way up the Himalayas. And that's a ritual because they wanted to offer it to that lingam there. Anyway, the next morning I stayed. I came back out and took the pony and came back and then continued the journey. And then we stopped at Rudraprayag. And what's happening at Rudraprayag, from Mandakini river was coming from Kedarnath, next door ashram. That's where Shankaracharya gave up his body. And that Mandakini would have joined up at Rudraprayag with Alakanda. And Mandakini would have lost her name and form because she merged with Alakanda. And Alakanda river continued downwards to Devan Prayag, and where it was joined up with this river coming from Gomukh. Oh, what a beautiful place that from Gomukh that's where the Mother Ganga came down in the Jata of Lord Shiva. And it's so beautiful that to see that there. I went and visited there, and then I came back, and then I took a bath at Devan Prayag. And this is very beautiful place because in Devan Prayag, both Alakanda and Bhagirathi river, they lose their name, and what they become, the Ganges. And this is the premier place of pilgrimage. Why? Because that's what we're supposed to do in this lifetime. We're supposed to give up our name and our form. And when we do that, we'll be like, we become consciousness. This is where Lord Shiva came from. This is where Mother Durga came from. This is where Swami Parameshananda came from. This is where Krishna Bhagwan came from. And all the great Adi Deva and the Adi Devis. So there's a nice song I want to sing that will talk about this. Ganga mein nahi, Jamuna mein nahi, महलों में नहीं, कुटियों में नहीं, जहाँ याद करो भगवान वहीं, जहाँ याद करो भगवान नहीं। पाताल गगन जल में तल में मुस्कात हुआ निकले फल में, मंदिर में नहीं तीर्थों में नहीं, मंदिर में नहीं तीर्थों में नहीं, गीता में नहीं वेदों में नहीं, जहाँ याद करो भगवान वहीं, जहाँ याद करो भगवान वहीं. What a beautiful song, so meaningful. that although we might be in this mandir here this morning, imagine that if our minds are not thinking that this is a mandir, the most powerful mandir, then we will not get the benefit of being here this morning. So it's a song, the song is saying that God is not in the place of pilgrimage. He's not in the place of the mandir. He's not in the Vedas, and He's not in the Gita. Imagine that. So we have to put our mind, this is why when we go to mandir, we have to transcend just looking at the murtis, but we have to go and realize that, oh, that this God is all over the place. He's omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. He's all powerful 100% of the time. He's all pervading. He's all over the universe and beyond the universe, beyond creation. And He's all knowing. He knows the past, present, and future. Oh, how beautiful this is. So this morning, let us take this message that in this mandir here, we are in the threshold of liberation. Threshold of liberation. Let us take this, make the shift from this morning. Make this shift, and this shift, what it means, that we're moving and stop paying our attention and importance to this mundane, this elusive world, and we're going to shift it to make our relationship with God so powerful. That's where the shift that we need to do. And once we make that shift, oh, then you'll see how life is going to be so beautiful. Oh, Surya Narayan is up here this morning. Isn't that so beautiful that we can see it? And look at the reflection in the water. Enjoy it. Look at the reflection on the trees. Isn't that so beautiful? I'm glad that I could bring this to you this morning, this good scenery, this beautiful scenery. Enjoy it and make your day very powerful. It's a very beautiful park here now. Oh, enjoy.
Boom.
Okay, how beautiful. Namaste and have a very beautiful day.